What's going on, everybody? It's Childish back at it again, coming at you with our first Awaken Chaos Era video in 2022. In today's video, we're going to tell you guys why I quit Awaken Chaos. I'm just playing. Okay, as you guys can see, we got it going on in the background. We're still, spoiler alert, so for those of you guys that want to find out the truth here, right? I have not quit. I'm still here, but I've definitely slowed down on the videos. So considering my personal opinion is to kind of slow down until soft launch, and of course, the recent video that Juby put out, as you guys know, right? Juby, Bagelmon, schizophrenic game. Everybody knows who he is. Come on, I don't need to talk about that, right? You guys know. He put out a recent video, and it really caught my eye because again, it's one of those videos that not everybody wants to hear, but they need to hear, and I just wanted to share my personal opinion on it. I'm gonna try my very best to try to play devil advocate on certain spots, but I'm gonna keep it real with you right now. Bagelmon, when he picks videos like this of this magnitude, it's really hard to make a strong argument against because he makes such a strong argument for it. It's probably not gonna happen, but I'll explain it from my end here, and we'll go through it real quick. Now, if you guys haven't had a chance to check the video out, he does a really good job of explaining everything that he talks to as far as his notes go. So I highly encourage you to stop the video, click on the link in the description down below. The video is there for there. I'm going to skim through, okay? I'm not going to make this a super long video. I just wanted to skim through on it. But basically, guys, he essentially talks about a couple of things, some red flags in the video that he is not liking. And the first thing that he brought up was essentially talking about the content in and of itself. Now, funny enough, you guys would think in a game like, in any kind of game, right? You would think like, oh man, we're going through, we're just kind of going through the process of like, checking out the game and whatnot. Sometimes you're like, man, there's just not enough content, man. I'm getting bored. I have nothing to do. Well, the funny thing about it is that Ace is kind of the exact opposite. There's actually a ton of content to do, right? We got, like I said it before, he said it on the video. I'm looking at the video right here, obviously, but 5 dungeons for gear, the adventure mode, the dungeons for awakened materials, bounty hut, void tower, endless trial. I actually wholeheartedly agree with him. And this is kind of weird to say this, but I'm going to tell you right now, when I first got into this game, as much as I was enjoying it, I felt like I was at a disadvantage because I just did not have the time to do everything I need to do on top of the farming, right? As you guys know, there's really not a lot of farming to do on the start, because if you're just kind of going through the adventure mode, you're going to be able to collect a couple of pieces here and there to kind of help you out. But, once you kind of get past that hump, you're like, wow, like, what do I do now? Because there's literally so much stuff to do. I don't know if I can keep on it. So again, I think companies at the end of the day really do have to figure out, what is the perfect balance. And considering the fact this is 2022 and gacha games have been around for a very long time, so of course, mobile games that are in this specific genre have been along for a long time. All these companies have seen, why games have been a little bit more successful or have kind of failed a little bit here. So I'm hoping that they can start taking the pages for the books. Maybe not this game because it's already been going, but making the necessary adjustments that they need to, come for the upcoming global launch here. So next topic that he points out is basically talking about how the game is still in soft launch, but they're really putting it out there as far as trying to get packs out. Again, he makes the thing that's, he says that, it's not uncommon for mobile games. Everybody is out there trying to get a buck, right? But it seems like this game was doing it more so than I. And the funny thing about this was like, if you guys remember my first video, like my first video was actually like quasi toxic because I pointed out one of the biggest flaws that they had on global launch, which is like a huge bug, which essentially showcased like 30 packs. I mean, we're talking like Raid Shadow Legends. They got nothing on this game, man, because they were busting out packs left and right. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. But that being said, though, like, I get it. Like you're a company that's trying to, you got to make a little money. You got to do what you got to do. But I'll tell you what, like, I feel like they wouldn't have to be so aggressive when it comes to the packs if the packs had a little bit more value, right? If they had a little bit more value for people that are, small spenders or little spenders, whatnot, it would have been nice to see. It might see that because I feel like I would have made the argument to buy a little bit more. For those that don't know, I've literally spent $15 in a game, some $5 newbie pack, and then a $10 for Blackhorn, which is of course a pretty good healer here from that season pass one here. That's really the only things that I spent on it, and like I have no motivation to go out there and spend some more because for the most part, up until like the winter season packs, there was a couple in there as well, but the majority of the packs, I didn't find them super valuable. Like I felt like they were a little bit off. I felt like certain packs that were of like smaller amounts was more valuable than the bigger amounts, and I felt like the ones that are bigger should, it's like a bundle, right? It should have a little bit more value if you're spending a little bit more. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Am I doing it wrong? Let me know in the comment section down below. But I like to see overall improvements across the board, especially by the time of global launch, because you guys already know that, like he said it, like, we got this soft launch time, we got people able to kind of level up stuff, and then global launch hits, and now we got, you know, that you know, 1 to 2 month gap of players that are, you know, ahead versus behind. Again, I don't think it's like a huge gap per se, but you know, the company's smart. Like, okay, well, the game's been out, but it's been over. We gotta get a little money. Like, let's see what they do, right? So, I don't know. I'm pretty much in line with Bagel there. It's an interesting that the packs are just not where they need to be. Hopefully they can improve that. I'm really hoping they do. And then we'll see where it goes here. He did make a great argument about the interest in mass market. This is actually something that a lot of the content creators have posted here. I've seen it in Discord. I've seen it on Reddit. I've seen it on videos. You know, the aspect of mass marketing is extremely important. You know, companies cannot deny the fact that of what bonuses you can obtain by taking the time to spend a little bit of money on the site to do marketing. Without question, is great, and I think we don't have to make an argument here. Raid Shadow Legends has actually proven it. While I mean, obviously they have a crazy amount of resources to make it happen, but I think it's been proven time and again with this game over the last 3 years that, you know, when you aggressively push marketing, you can attract some people, right? When you aggressively, you know, reach out to people like myself and other various content creators out there in the community to, you know, post videos out there and whatnot, you can see like how big this game is. I mean, yes, it costs, you know, because you got to put a little bit of investment up front, but it, you know, it's definitely paying off, right? It's definitely paying off here. So the next topic he brings up is definitely a big red flag for me, and maybe I'm spoiled when it comes to Summoners War, because Summoners War has been without question one of the best, you know, free to play communities out there. I don't know why these companies do what they do when it comes to, you know, creating events that essentially try to motivate you once again to spend. They create these events that are like, oh, okay, we're going to bring in the event. We're going to bring in some additional stuff here. But again, it's going to be pretty hard for you to get, you know, finish it out, you know, unless you spend a little bit here. Now, that being said, if you are a free-to-play player and you understand that they got the calendars and they got, you know, they're giving you a heads up on the stuff here, sure, you can plan accordingly and do it. But I feel like we shouldn't be waiting, you know, every single time to do that, right? So I think it's like, I think there's a couple of adjustments that can be made. I don't really think that there should be all, like, I don't think these, they got the packs to attract the whales. Like, let the events be for everybody. Let them be able to finish it without, you know, with ease there. That's my personal opinion anyway. So again, like right now, I'm going to keep it real with you. Like I haven't, like some of the events I've actually kind of slept on. Like I didn't get them all done too much, but I really didn't feel too bad because I felt like some of the events overall, like the rewards were kind of mediocre, but who am I to complain, right? They're free. They're able to help us out and whatnot. So I felt like they could improve. Again, I'm just another spoiled Summoners War YouTuber that has so many good events in a game. It's just like, oh man, why can this game be more like Summoners War, right? The last thing I want to touch on is the one that really caught my eye. This one is a very strong comment here. So I just wanted to share this one. This is essentially the overall reason why he chose to kind of step away. So I'm going to read this one verbatim because I don't want to take anything out of context here. Basically it says, for someone that does YouTube as a job, the cost reward is simply nowhere near enough to make it worthwhile from a time perspective. Content cannot legitimately be created as a free-to-play player, which is true, because you would be behind everybody else. Spending $100 a month not to be behind would break even and be barely worthwhile, not taking into consideration the time investment of spending on farming all day, right? And the funny thing about it is that this guy, like, he is the king of farming all day. So if he's farming this game all day long and still struggling, you know, for somebody that's not spending, you know, as much money as the rest, I mean, that is rough. Next part that he says is, there is genuinely no benefit to content creators in this title from a revenue potential versus time and money investment unless they are directly receiving compensation from the developer themselves, which of course is the only way it could be worthwhile for us to fully create content for it. Basically, pretty much all the other mobile games in a nutshell, right? So yeah, this is something that I'm really glad he said it, because it's one of those gray areas that not a lot of people talk about, right? Because at the end of the day, this video was for him to say, you know, hey, this is why I'm playing this, I'm not playing this, this is the reason why. And at the back of my mind, even though we love the community, we love doing this and stuff like that, from a standpoint of playing, making content as a full-time YouTuber, you know, you have to not only find games you like to play, but also games that people like to watch and enjoy, and you know stuff that can get you some engagement here on the platform. I mean, this is the way, you know, he puts food on the table. This is the way he keeps a roof over his head. So he needs to make the best choice possible for him, right? It's the same thing that companies do. You know, the choices that they make that we don't always agree with. We don't always agree with every choice they make, but they got to do certain things that are good for the company, that are best for the company, right? So we can make an argument on both sides on that. So again, I fully support him. You know, I hope that maybe down the road, if they do make some changes, I would love to see him come back and play it a little bit more. Now, me personally, I am not a full-time YouTuber streamer. This is it's been a hobby for me for the last 7 years. But to keep it 100 with you guys, I would obviously love to be a full-time YouTuber streamer. You know, I just gotta, you know, keep on grinding, keep on pushing hard, stop slacking, stop being lazy on certain things. That could be for a whole nother video, but that's besides the point, right? Basically, guys, you know, he's right. He is right. It's definitely hard to commit to a game that requires so much of your time and effort when there's little to no reward or little to no, you know, compensation for us. So again, we never know what's going to happen when the game drops here. I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. There was an anomaly that happened this last year by the name of Cookie Run Kingdom. For those that don't know, this is a game that, you know, came out of the line, and, you know, like every other game, you know, it had a little bit of hype, and then, like, you know, months or two down the road came down. But then all of a sudden, you know, like in that 4 to 6 month time frame, you know, it caught a wave, and it caught a wave strong. And a lot of content creators in their community, or a couple of content creators in the community, were able to catch that wave, ride it out, and, you know, people love the game. It grew beyond belief, and I'm seeing a lot of positive people in the community that are just absolutely loving the game. So you truly never know what could happen, even though history has shown that for the majority of the games, you know, the half-life is not there. You know, I can't stand it. You know, it's unfortunately has, you know, it may have a little bit of hype early on. It's hard to keep that going unless the company, you know, does something really, really good to keep everything afloat. But hopefully this game does well. I mean, honestly, I'm enjoying the game because, again, like I said before, I could do what I'm doing right now, which is essentially playing it on the side, just leveling it up. I'm basically full zombie mode. I'm literally playing the game, doing as much autoing as I can, because I'm not trying to stress myself out due to the fact that I know there's so much to do. Like, I just take it step by step. And so for those of you guys that are like wondering, you know, hey, you know, Bagel quit. I haven't seen Childish make a video in like 8 days. Where did he go? You know, he just got recommended by, you know, Bagel to do it. I'm like, you know, I still play, but I am so behind. I mean, I consider myself to be behind because I'm not spending like mad crazy, right? So I got so much stuff to do. I'm just like, okay, well, we don't need to make another video about my progression every, you know, 3 days, right? I need to wait it out. Need to, you know, make more progress, and down the road when I actually have something to post, and, you know, I'll go ahead and do that. But again, fam, I don't want to carry this video too long. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 15 to 20 minutes long, probably longer than Jui's video here. That wasn't honestly my intention, but these videos, especially from Bagel, this is not stuff that we take lightly as a content creator. But this is definitely not something that you generally see, you know, from a content creator, right? Like for me, you know, some of us just kind of slowly just kind of let it dwindle, right? Whatever. But he wanted to, you know, say, you know, he was enjoying this game. He enjoyed the game, you know, really good. And then, but there was some red flags, and they just started creeping up. And, you know, considering where he was at in the game versus what he was getting back from it, as far as community and the growth and the revenue and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, it's really hard to keep it going when you have so many other things that, you know, you got to do as a full-time content creator. So mad respect to you, Bagel, for putting out this video. Again, this is, for those of you guys that have known it for quite some time, this is not like a surprise to you. Bagel doesn't, what's the word that I'm looking for? Because I'm for those that don't know, I'm really horrible for it. He lets you know. He rips through that Band-Aid and just, you know, let it bleed out. He lets you guys know the truth, you know. He doesn't care if he hurts, you know, he wants to give you guys the brutal, honest truth. That's what it is. That's what it really is. So respect to you. Like I said, guys, I don't know, you know, what this game is going to do here by the time it goes global launch, but I hope that, you know, seeing a couple content creators like take their time or, you know, maybe step away from it, you know, after a month or two of playing it, you know, hope that they, you know, really decide to do something, you know, from a marketing perspective, or you know, maybe connect with them on the side. Like, hey, like, this is, like, here's the deal. If you haven't recognized it, if you haven't heard enough from the community, like, these are some of the things that you should prove. I'm not saying they have to be just like that, but you really need to take a step back, have a little pow meeting with your, you know, have a focus group or something like that, and see what kind of things you can change. Because I don't have enough fingers and toes to count how many times companies had more than enough time to really polish the game, and they were focused on, and this is not just, you know, randomly spewing out stuff. I've talked with developers I was discussing, like, what are they working on? And they were talking about like future projects from 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road. And I'm sitting there like, what about the issues that you got going currently right now, and the issue that you had last week and the week before that, and what, you know, whatever. Like, why are we not addressing these things that go now? I mean, yes, I know you need to do this because these things will, you know, generate revenue for you if you make new characters and create new units and you know, build new mechanics, and but you still need to make sure that everything is in a proper place here so that we can make it to 6 months or 9 months or 12 months or whatever like that. So yeah, guys, at the end of the day, we're still enjoying it. And I'll tell you right now, because of the fact that, you know, when it comes to content on both Summoners War and this right now, there's not a whole lot to do. So I'm just like, every once in a while I will pop on stream. I will be playing the game. I technically am still playing the game whenever I'm doing Summoners War stream. So feel free to stop on by and ask any questions you want. If not, as always, there is a link to the description down below to my Discord. We do have a small little community there for Ace. If you ever have any questions, feel free to hit it up. And if you don't get a response from me personally, feel free to tag me there, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can, okay? That's going to be it, fam. We're going to do a quick video here. And then, like I said before, I'm going to drop, I think, a video tomorrow. Discuss a little bit about the whole recent balance pass and just some of the things that I've seen. So that's going to be it, fam. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care.